Hey guys, thanks so much for stopping by. My name's Austin. Today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Comic Wave Ultimate Iron Man. I'm not sure if there's an official name and if that official name is Comic Wave, but that's just kind of what I'm calling it because that's the gimmick for this in lieu of a Build-A-Fig. Um, this figure is probably my favorite Iron Man of the year. I'm not sure when Extremis came out. I believe that was last year. Um, this is a really good release from Hasbro, in my opinion. I like it a lot. As always, there are things that Hasbro could do better, but for this, I think it shows a lot of improvement in a lot of areas, and also a little bit of a letdown in others. But we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. Before we look at the interesting stuff, we'll take a look at the box, or the clamshell packaging. I really like this. I like the retro, even though it's kind of retro inspired. You know, it's obviously not emulating an existing box type, but it looks really good. I mean, you know, it uses the comic font and that kind of speech bubble pop art look. You have the cross cell on the back, which is always classic, and kind of showing off that gimmick of all the different comic book accessories you can get, which we'll talk about a little bit in accessories. I really like this packaging. I like it a lot. I like the logo for Ultimate Iron Man. I was never a huge fan of the comic run, but I really like the design. So that's pretty much all we have for packaging. We'll go ahead and get straight into the aesthetics. So up close now with the Ultimate Iron Man from the Marvel Legends comic wave. This is such a polarizing design. It's not my favorite design for Iron Man, but I really do love it as a departure. You know, trying something new. It's definitely got more of a mecha flair. It also looks more like something a human being would be wearing rather than something, you know, quite as tight and slim as modern Iron Man armor. I kind of like how chunky this is and how it does kind of feel like, you know, a person is standing in this. But yeah, overall aesthetics on this guy are really good. I like the finish on all of the kind of titanium or aluminum look, or I guess iron. It doesn't have the swirly twirly look that most metal effects have. I'm not confident that it's been painted, but it almost looks painted. I mean, you're not getting that marbling that you typically get with a Marvel Legends metal figure. So I don't know. I'm not confident enough to say it's painted. It doesn't really feel painted. The finish on the areas that are definitely painted feel different. But yeah, I really like this. I like how much paint they used, even if this isn't painted. The red is just so good. I mean, it's glossy. It sells the effect really well, and the sculpt is just great. I mean, the big issue here that comes up with anything like this since the Maximum series release, I mean, how is this not Maximum? We'll get into the articulation and the accessories, and obviously those keep it from being Maximum, but this is a completely new and I would think not reusable sculpt. I mean, what else are they going to be able to use this on? This is the only version of the character that exists that looks like this. This is an original sculpt, and you can pick it up for 25 bucks. Obviously, the options for accessories are a little bit more limited, but I don't really see that as being different enough. I don't know. I don't know. The Maximum series conversation is, I think, a little bit done to death, but this to me brings up a very clear issue with that pricing model. I just don't think that it holds up to scrutiny when you consider figures like this. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the Ultimate Iron Man, and I think that overall the aesthetics on this guy are so good, and it really just nails it. It nails the look, and I'm really happy to have this design in my collection now. You know, it's been a long time. I think the last one was the Marvel Select version, and that's not in scale with Marvel Legends. So really like this guy. And yeah, that's all I've got for aesthetics. So now we will take a look at the rather meager accessories. When it comes to accessories on this guy, he's showing off his nice painted nails right now. All you get are these kind of open, relaxed, or repulsor blast hands. I guess they're repulsor blast hands. You're able to peg repulsor blasts in there, not as tight as I would like. Unfortunately, I don't have a repulsor blast with me, but I did try it, and it's not quite as tight as I would like for repulsor blast hands. So much more of a you know, relaxed hand rather than anything else. But then you get set of holding gripping hands for the only other accessory that comes with this figure, and then you get a set of fist hands. So the fists look good, they're sculpted well. If my camera would stop losing its absolute mind. Look at this, look at it, come on. Wow, it is really not happy with this fist. Yeah, it looks good. It's a good fist hand, not much to say about it. For the gripping hands, we get the whole gimmick of this wave, the whole point, the Iron Man comic. It looks good. It's well done. I don't really see the value in it. I mean, it's fun as a gimmick, I guess. I just don't really see the point, personally. It's kind of funny. This actually isn't even the right armor, because from Ultimate Iron Man #1, he had a really goofy-looking helmet. So if you look closely, you can kind of see, just barely, you can make it out. The eyes are just different. Not the same design. So it's not a knock against the figure. It's just a funny little thing. I would not have liked to have the original helmet design. It looks horrid. Anyways, yeah, it's... I mean, it's fine. I don't know. I'm not really worried about it either way, but you definitely could have replaced that with maybe some repulsor blasts instead of this gripping hand for holding something that might be used for a couple photos. I mean, I used it once and I was done. But yeah, that is all you get for accessories on this guy, for better or worse. Now let's go into the articulation. For articulation on Anthony Stark, Ultimate Iron Man, it's good, it's solid. You got double ball with, I think there's actually, you have a ball peg with a hinge at the top and then ball peg at the bottom. I think it works. I mean, it's super limited just because of how bulky the figure is. I'm going to try not to be too negative about the bulkiness for it, because this is the design of the armor, and how much are you really getting out of a design like this. But yeah, it can look up that far. You can cheat it and pop the head off and get a little bit more out of it without it looking terrible and just falling off completely. But yeah, even cheating, that's about as good as you'll get, and you are kind of starting to get into the empty head, but not a big deal. I think I don't know, it works for the figure. You can't really do much more with that. Then for the chest, actually the chest, I'm going to end up ranting about the chest, so let's focus on the arms first. The arms go out that far, really good. These are that, I think it's kind of the standard way that Marvel Legends is going to do these shoulder pads now, and I think it works really well. It's just on a floating loop that keeps it separate. It allows it to move independently of the joint, and I think that works really well. But yeah, it doesn't really get in the way. You don't get anything past 90, but I mean, that's fine. I'm not mad about that. Bicep swivel, as expected. Double jointed. Elbow goes up pretty well. Yeah, I mean, for a bulky figure like this, that's about as good as you're going to get. Then you get down to the wrist, and the wrist, I would say they probably did the best they could. You know, he's got this kind of blaster on here. And honestly, if somebody knows, maybe in this version of the character, he didn't use repulsor blasts. I feel like I've seen it before that he has. But maybe this is where the blast is supposed to come out of. And if so, they did good at angling the hand to where you can kind of get it out of the way for the shot, or the fist does good too at kind of curving down. But standard Marvel Legends hinge wrists, they work, they swivel okay, you know, they kind of get blocked by this. But again, you're running into the sculpt, and what are you going to do about that? You know, it's the design of the character, so that doesn't really bother me. You can't get it up great, but you can get it up enough, so that's pretty good. You can get it up enough. Then we get to the whatever this is. It feels so weird. I'm not even going to really talk about what it is. I think it's a double ball peg. It does not feel like it in the slightest. It doesn't. It's like a rubber figure. I mean, it can rotate just fine. It can tilt not at all. Like, you can tilt it by just bending the gummy joints, but it doesn't stay. It literally doesn't move. Like, so this is straight on, right? That's back. You see how it's just immediately going back to neutral? That's forward. It's immediately going back to, like, you literally cannot, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's something that I'm missing here, that maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm out of touch. I don't know. This is atrociously bad. I couldn't get it to do anything better than that. But whatever. Down to the waist, can kick up. I mean, it just immediately starts going out, but you know, that's pretty good. I don't know how many high kicks we're doing with our Iron Men, but it goes out to 90 before it starts splitting, and I think that's good. That's fine. What's not so good is this. It dips underneath the crotch piece, so I'm not really sure why it couldn't go further than that. I don't really think I'm going to be displaying him with more than this as far as splits go, but it would have been nice to have the option, especially when there are so many other limitations. I mean, I don't know. He doesn't have drop down, which is fine. Not every figure needs drop down, but yeah, really, really limited. There's thigh cut, which I will say perfectly hidden by the sculpt. Really like that. Really well done. But, you know, is what it is. Double jointed knee. Really good range on that. The elbows and knees are great on this figure. For such a bulky design, I mean, he can get a good, you know, you can even get him into a bit of a superhero landing. I'm going to try it for the outro and we'll see how it looks, but it works pretty well. This, another kind of hinge joint you get. There's no... Yeah, you have front-facing pin for rocker, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much that. It's limited going back because of these thrusters on the back. There's a little thing there for, I assume, a figure stand or a blast effect. I like that. I like how it's well hidden by the sculpt, but it's still usable. Crunches forward goes forward pretty well, and the rocker works. The ankle pivot is pretty good, so I like that. Overall, the articulation on this figure is such a mixed bag. I just don't know. I don't know what I think of it. The waist section ruins it so much for me. I just can't get over this. You can't do anything. I mean, for flight poses, out of box without doing anything to it, that is what you can get for looking up. That's how high he can look up. That's just not good for an Iron Man. I don't know. I'm still happy with most of the figure, but the articulation, it definitely falls down in some areas. And it's weird for it to be a brand new sculpt, why they decided to not just do the best they could do with it. I don't know. Maybe this was the best they could do. But overall, articulation on this guy is fine. I don't really particularly care for it, but it's good enough. So on to the comparisons. First up for comparisons, we have the Marvel Legends Iron Man Mark 1, and then for me, I just call it the Iron Man design by Alex Ross. I think it has a specific name from the series that it's from, but I can't remember. Right off the bat, the scaling is interesting. I definitely think it's too small, and I'm not sure if that's just because of the size of the design and the fact that it just looks like it should be bigger. But I don't know, putting him right up against that Alex Ross Iron Man, which I don't think is really known for being like a giant design. It was pretty short-lived in the comics, but I don't know. It's weird to me that he's a little bit taller than the stumpy Mark 1 and then shorter than like a standard Iron Man design, but I don't know. One thing that does come through is the lack of swirly twirly plastic on him. He looks really good. This guy is another example of not having really bad marbleization, I guess, but it is still there, and it's really not there at all on this guy. So I don't know if it's a different design that they're going for or how they managed to get rid of it, but it looks really good. But next up, we have more Marvel Legends Iron Man. We have the retro card Model 20 Invincible Iron Man, and then the Extremis armor. These three are probably now my favorite Marvel Legends Iron Man I have in my collection. I really, really like the Model 1, or the Mark 1, but man, there's something about these three designs. Maybe they were just the right time during my childhood, but I associate them very closely with the Iron Man design and character. I think scaling, again, is a problem here. He's just a little bit too stumpy. You know, I don't know. He's looking similar in height on camera, to the Model 20, but in person, for one thing, the Model 20 is having trouble standing up, which is, I don't think this was the Demon in the Bottle storyline, but, maybe he's having a little bit of a relapse. Anyways, yeah, the scaling just isn't quite there, at least in person. On camera, it's honestly not too bad on camera. I don't know. I think it's up to each their own. I personally am not a huge fan of how the scaling works, but it's not bad. It's not going to be too noticeable, especially if you pose him up correctly. And again, he might just supposed to be this size, and he just looks a little bulkier. But that's all I've got for these guys. So next we have a few stragglers. We have the Infinity Saga Mark III MCU Iron Man, and then the DB Toys Ultimate Spider-Man. I didn't pick up the Ultimate Miles Morales. I can't get over those childbearing hips. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It looks so bad. Anyways, to me, this is a very important comparison. This one just kind of shows maybe the Mark III is out of scale, or maybe this guy's super short. These two fit well enough. Obviously Peter should be shorter, and I think he's short enough. I think it works pretty well between the two, and I'm gonna have them displayed together occasionally. I move my stuff around a lot, but I think that they're in line enough that they work pretty well together. But yeah, the MCU Iron Man for some reason is just quite a bit taller than the Ultimate Iron Man, and I don't know how well that works, but that hopefully gives you a pretty good idea of how this will look in your Iron Man collection if you have one, or if you're going for an Ultimate Universe collection. That's a pretty good combination right there. I like those a lot. So that's all I've got for comparisons. Now we'll go ahead and move on to the conclusion. Wrapping up this look at the Ultimate Iron Man from the Marvel Legends comic wave. I think if you like this design, if you like this character, if you like this run of comics, I think he's definitely a no-brainer. The biggest weak spots, I would say, is the lack of blast effects and overall posing. As you can see, I mean, he gets into a decent superhero landing. Most superhero landings don't look good from every angle, so it's not surprising that this one doesn't look great from every angle. But if you cheat the ball peg on the head, you can get him kind of looking up, not really looking as up as I would like, but yeah, he poses okay. And hopefully you won't notice the incredible lack of waist and stomach body articulation that you would hope to have. I mean, he rotates well, so he was able to do this pose. I think he's worth the $25. I think he's a little bit out of scale. He could be bigger, and he could have come with more accessories. But overall, for a Marvel Legends figure, he's worth the pickup. If you're not super interested in him, good news, he's not a Build-A-Figure wave thing. You can skip him easily, and I don't think you'll feel too bad about it. If this isn't your jam, then no big loss. But I think it does represent a step in the right direction for the finish on these kind of figures. The metal actually looks really good. It doesn't have that wavy marbleization that is a bit of a problem. I'm not a huge fan of it. I understand the kind of necessity of it, but clearly it's not a necessity anymore if this figure doesn't have it. The argument to be made for, is this a maximum release? Why is this able to be half the price of that Spider-Man when it's a brand new sculpt? I think that that's still valid, and I think that Hasbro should be kept honest on their pricing, and I'm concerned of where the line is going to go from here with that becoming a new standard. But either way, I'll be here along for the ride, and still picking up the stuff that I'm interested in and skipping the stuff that I'm not. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to keep it a little bit shorter. We're not looking at something as major as an import figure or anything like that. So try to keep it short and sweet. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. It helps a lot. If you didn't, feel free to leave a dislike, but also just let me know in the comments what I could do differently, maybe what you didn't like. I'm very open to criticism, and I'd like to be able to improve at this hobby and get better at reviewing figures. It's really something that I've been enjoying doing, but I'm very open to advice and thoughts. So for the next review, I'm looking at probably some Black Series stuff. We're going to do Clone Captain Rex and Anakin Skywalker from the Ahsoka wave. And yeah, that's what we're looking at for the next couple of reviews. So hope you guys have a good one. Thanks again so much for watching. All right, like, share, subscribe, I guess. Bye.